in 2007 and moved to Nigeria in 2017. They've transplanted over 100,000 oil palm seedlings and have also employed around 20,000 people, mostly from local communities.
I started this business because of my quest to contribute to solving the food security challenges in Nigeria and also creating mass employment. For oil palm, for every hectare that we try to cultivate, we need to hire at least a person per hectare. It means for our current estate where we started from, we need to employ about 20,000 people. And if we aggregate the amount of people we'd employ over a 5-year period where all our estates are developed, it should be about 50,000 Nigerians that will be gainfully employed. We currently employ 2,000 people on our farm, plus or minus. And we're proud to say we're the second largest employer of labor in Ondo State after our government. We primarily focus on primary production within 3 value chains. One is oil palm. We currently have 2 estates in Ondo State, which is a 10,000 hectare estate of oil palm in one location, and another 10,000 hectare estate. We recently acquired a few plantations, one in Ogun State. We're about completing one in River State, Cross River as well. And we're planning to expand to a few other states, Kwara, Kogi, and Katsina. We have over 2,000 plus people employed on the farm who tend to, from our nursery development to land preparation, to planting, holing, all sorts of works. And we have very I would say top management involvement as well. We have a lot of expatriates from Malaysia, Indonesia, and also India who work with us on the farm. They live on the farm as well. That in terms of our meat management, we have a lot of Nigerians who spend 10, 20 years in the oil palm sector who actually work within the farm. So if you aggregate everything, as I said, we're about 2,000 plus. We will be increasing as long as we continue to expand our oil palm plantation. I think at some point we will be about 20,000 people in less than 5 years who work on this oil palm plantation, because rule of thumb, you do 1 person per hectare. So if we're developing a 20,000 hectare farm, it's going to be about 20,000 people that will be gainfully employed, with us, by us. A lot of people from the community that we sort of transfer skills to. So for human capital, we're very heavy on, very skillful people. And we choose the best from, all the universities. We have scholarships that we give to people to go to university across the community. And we also have partnerships with university like the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, where we employ 5 people or 5 of the best students per department, and we employ them in 5 departments every single year. So all those sort of things, looking to expand our mill to about a 60 ton per hour mill, because for every 10,000 hectare you develop, you need about a 60 ton per hour mill. And we're also doing a refinery, which will be about a 200 tons per day refinery. In terms of challenges we face, it's in 2 parts. One is challenges of, community problems, because whilst you go to any land which was within a forest reserve and isn't declassified, you'd always meet, local farmers there who are already planting there legally or illegally. So for us, being a large-scale commercial agricultural firm, we make sure that we get all our ducks in the row, have our certificate of occupancy issued by the government, and also we do all our delineation properly before we start community engagement. We've done community engagement over a period of time, but we still face some sort of community challenge that we're working in partnership with government to resolve. And it's been ongoing for a while, but it's getting resolved bit by bit. The second challenge we face is access to capital. Going to a traditional bank, an orthodox bank in Nigeria, you will get a tenure of about 2 to 3 years, and also an interest rate of about 35 to 40% with almost, zero moratorium, which is not good for oil palm because oil palm takes, about 6 years for proper development. So access to capital locally is a problem. We need to have some sort of a blended financing approach where we're mixing a lot of equity with, maybe like foreign debt, in foreign exchange, that we need to try and sort of hedge to be able to pay back, and some sort of, mezzanine debt, convertible loans and all that. So it's a very difficult one within our sector. Going into agriculture, there's a lot of unknown. If you think agriculture can work the same way, tech works, you would struggle. A lot of companies have crowdfunded using tech platforms, going into a sector that is certainly not the easiest of sectors to work in. Because if you think about it, aside you bringing an input into Nigeria or getting inputs from local manufacturers, you still have to contend with what you cannot maneuver, which is, climatic condition. God gives rain, so sometimes there's a lot of rain, sometimes there's a storm, sometimes there's flooding. All those sort of things, even if you get insurance, it's very difficult with predicting what your yields can be per hectare. So lots of them have gotten their fingers burnt, and there are no more today. Hence why we are very long-term in our approach. We focus on tree crops, and tree crop, whatever you put in as in planting material in year 1 is what sustains you from year 6 to year 40. So this is the period where you have to give tender love and care to all the trees you're planting. If you think about oil palm as a sector, countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, a huge part of their gross domestic product is actually from oil palm. Indonesia is a $4 trillion economy, and 10% of that is actually from oil palm. So for oil palm farmers, our message to government is there need to be deliberate policies. There need to be intentional frameworks designed for the oil palm industry. A lot of the things we do require extremely long-term funding. So a special window needs to be created for long-term funding. Number 2, there has to be programs where we have some sort of incentives to encourage us, tax incentives, free zone licenses to grant, importation of equipment, importation of our seeds, but we can get locally to be, tax-free from equipment to seeds. So for us, those things are encouraging, and you'd see a lot of farmers will go into the cash crop sector. A lot of times what you find is people will have intentions to go into it, but they can't really get, what it takes to actually make it sustainable. You start a plantation 1 year, you realize that you can't really sustain it because you don't have, that constant flow of capital required to keep you afloat for the next 6 years, because you've got no cash flow from day 1. You got to start getting cash flow from year 3, year 4, because you're talking about you need to prepare the land, you need to grow your nursery for a year or your seed to seedlings for a year, then you plant, and you have to just wait for it to sort of grow before you can start to bear fruits in year 3 afterwards. So it's not an easy fit. Sustaining that sort of business is quite difficult.
The previous government tried their best to reform this oil, but they came and gone because of the lack of investment. They are not investing here. The community now has taken over. This farm you see is now controlled by the community, not from the government. But I strongly believe Pastor Omoino, our current governor, will do something about it, because he has stopped all the community leaders to steer clear from the farm. That the farm is now belongs to the state government. So I want federal government to also step into it because it's a federal government farm. With federal government support, I believe something can be done.
But the state government insists they are working on ensuring the Dakada oil plantation resumes large-scale production of palm oil.
Dakada oil palm estate is ongoing and still growing. They are producing, and then they're also now beginning to replant, and then also be planning the exit of the older ones so you can expand the plantation and grow it enough to allow them be able to have enough output. That's what's going on there right now. His Excellency the Governor is very particular about this and agriculture as a whole, and wants the Ministry of Agriculture and of course the investment arm of government to put in more effort to ensure that they come optimally. Right now the next plan is to put a mill there so that you can now get expanded and have the community involvement, so they can be involved in ensuring that they participate. They also sell their own seedlings and fruits to the mills to enable production.
Not everyone has the mechanized tools and a small army of workers behind them to produce at a large rate. For others, like this local palm oil miller, who has to endure the intense heat from the fire underneath the pot, producing palm oil here is difficult.
After you are cooking this thing, the owner of this place will come and make sure and know this 4 drum or 3 drum. After that, you go transfer them to the granite. After you have finished doing the job, and press it small. You will see oil, very red oil, very good oil. After that, you will transfer the wood for separator. This thing called separator.
That one.
That one. Mm-hmm. So that one you will grind it and give you that kernel, back kernel there.
Okay, the back.
And separate the back kernel and separate this thing I call shaft and give you. Now you call the buyers will come.
Buy each of
You buy.
Some will buy this one.
No, you should not buy this one. So this one, you have to take this thing and cook this thing. You have to take this sharp and cook this one. Because we cannot apply firewood to cook.
So you don't use firewood?
No, we cannot use firewood and cook this thing. You use and cook this thing. Because this one is better than firewood. Very sharp.
Yeah, and it doesn't bring out smoke.
No smoke.
This local miller got into palm.
So we need the help from the state government or federal government to help us, to empower us now. So because this our gen are spoiled. Every time we are repaired, because we have so many this pot. This one no good. This one no good. We need.
Now you get this place.
No, I'm working here. I'm trying to assist this man because the man is old. Okay. That boy I see them up behind me down is the son of that man. So now,
So like how much do you make in this place? If
No.
this place is up to
now this man, if we have a good equipment, especially this type gen, we can make maybe a week. We can make a 50,000 naira a week or more, a week. In a week, 50,000 or more, because we have talked about. Because if the equipment is good, moving, cannot spoil. Because you are going this down, maybe it's small time. You repair. If you want to repair, if you look at the pot now, it has spoiled. You need money to repair this pot now. This pot now contains 250,000 naira. To get one, 250,000. That one 250,000. So there is no money.
So you only have 2.
You only have 2 working.
So now that you see, say, government starts to do oil.
From a baby, palm, agogwa palm.
If you say it will affect your business.
It should not affect our business. We have so many bush to enter there and buy this pakanda. Because I'm from here. Because I'm a
So you buy from here?
Yeah, I buy from here. But now this one I buy from Odon government, Mbo government. Because that Mbo government have so many these things. Have so many. So I'm talking about to you now. I need the help from the government, to Pastor Mono to help us and put a small to support this program, because you cannot sit down. The manna come from heaven. You must work. You eat. So that's her name.
So can you just tell us this drum now? How many liters?
If I cook this thing now, because this paragamia is the drive. If I cook now, by grace of God, I can get 4 rubber.
When you say 4 rubber,
4 rubber. 4 rubber. That's 25 liter. 4.
Okay, 4
25 liter.
For one drum.
For this one drum.
Of products beyond just palm oil. Other valuable byproducts include olein, palm oil, palm kernel nuts, palm kernel oil, palm kernel shell, and even brooms. Processed oil palm products also find their way into soap making. President Bola Tinubu has appointed Mr. Ayo Shotiri as the new managing director of the Bank of Agriculture, a move expected to boost investment, efficiency, and innovation in Nigeria's agricultural sector. With his extensive background in both private and public sectors, Mr. Shotiri seems well suited to lead the bank. His experience as Group Chief Executive Officer at SAO Group, where he developed groundbreaking agricultural